Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and joining me today on episode 118 of the EAC Show, we got LaVon Harvey. LaVon, appreciate you joining us on episode 118. Marcus Mack is going to join us eventually, hopefully. He's a little bit caught up. He's running behind a little bit on today's episode, but that's all cool. LaVon, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. We got a lot of new sports that's coming to fruition. So, new week, exciting. A lot of playoff action. We're not March Madness, baseball. So we'll get into it though.
Listen, we got so much to talk about. I mean, let's start off a little bit. Let's piggyback on what we talked about last episode. JJwatt ended up making his decision. Shout out to them. They ended up deciding to go to the Arizona Cardinals. Congratulations to him and his wife. JJwatt is hands down one of the best players on the field and also one of the best players off the field. So congratulations to him and his wife. They're going to Arizona. Kind of cool on social media to be able to see JJ. The owner actually sent his plane and flew the plane that he was sending to go pick up JJ. So the owner was the pilot of the plane that went to go get JJ and his wife.
Oh, nice. That's fair.
That's stunting to another level, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna come get you, okay? No, for real. I'm about to come and get you, man. Like, for real.
Like, he literally Uber jet to the spot. You know what I'm saying? How do you like that fit? Well, keep in mind, that's a tough division, that he's going to. So I don't know if this is a I want to win now type fit. But you've got a great quarterback. And he's reunited with Andrew Hopkins. Maybe Hopkins had a little bit to do with that. We should have known, right? Because didn't Hopkins post a photo of them hugging? Yeah, but you don't know how much that's really serious. You don't know how much is just being playful or whatever it may be. But
I don't even think he knew. I think he was just congratulating his brother for making a move. But no, they're reunited. They've got a good quarterback, and we'll see how things pan out. And he's a young, talented quarterback, and he's getting better every single year. So we'll see what he does.
Do you think Russ stays in that division with the amount of pass rushers that are in that division now, LaVon?
What they need to do is get him a better offensive line. We're giving up Russell Wilson. He's a generational player. That's silly. So I think he stays put. Russell's such a good guy on and off the field. That's what you're looking for, man. You know what I mean? These quarterbacks aren't cheap anymore, so he's getting paid top dollar, but that's how much they're all going to run now. We'll get into Dak later. I don't know if he was part of the schedule, but we'll get into him later. He wants like the top grade A money, and he's not a really grade A quarterback in my opinion.
So you agree with Dan Orlovsky from ESPN that basically said that Dak Prescott is a good quarterback trying to get great quarterback money?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Again, Dak is a good quarterback. He's not Mahomes. He's not Aaron Rodgers, right? He's not Brady. He's not that guy.
Hold on. I gotta add Marcus Mack to this. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
So, hey, there he is.
What's going on, y'all? We live right now?
Yeah, we live. Joining us on episode 118 of the EAC Show, we got my partner in crime. Go ahead, Marcus Mack.
Marcus Mack, man. I feel real good to be here.
Sunny South Florida, sir.
Sunny South Florida. Yeah, that's a fact. Just for the record, I am international. So if you start hearing me talk anything other than South Florida, that just comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? Is if you choosing or you snoozing, you heard? But I'm definitely here.
So Marcus, we just to catch you up real quick, we talked a little bit about JJwatt before you got into the episode, and then now we're talking about Russell Wilson and how he is literally almost like the poster child of what you want your sports player to be on and off the field.
Right.
So, I mean, LaVon was adding on to where, basically that defense, he needs an offensive line in Seattle, and if he doesn't get it, it's time for him to ship out. And we talked a little bit about...
How do I sound, though?
No, you sound fine. You sound fine. Yeah, you sound fine.
Perfect.
So we were talking a little bit about just, Dak Prescott, in his situation also, about him getting, trying to get great money when he's just a good quarterback. LaVon feels like that's the case.
I mean, and keep in mind, we're kind of transitioning into Dak, but since we're on quarterbacks and we're talking about money here, I mean, this is Dallas's fault because they could have signed him for maybe high 20s about 2-3 years ago, right? And would have been cool. But now the kid wants damn near $40 million, and he's making so much money off the field. I forgot where I heard this from, but I heard he made already $40 million off the field, off of endorsements already.
Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted. He does the little, the bed commercials. He does the yoga commercials, and shout out, Cam actually gave him that because Cam kind of threw that yoga commercial in his lap when Cam was saying some dumb stuff about a female reporter, and they dropped him. Remember that story, LeVon, when he said some dumb. He asked the reporter. She was asking him some questions about statistics in football and getting into details, and he was utterly shocked on how she was asking that type of question, and then the yoga company was like, "Nah, we're done. No, we'll move on to the next person."
Yeah, it's a couple coins lost, but hey, I mean, the guy's making 31 last year. This year coming up, he'll make 37. This is guaranteed money out the gate. Will these snaps is again? I hope not. I pray he doesn't again. But I'm just saying, will these snaps is or not? 37 this year, and then he's gonna get a long-term contract for 4 years after this too. So he's good on money.
What was his initial contract?
He was like a late round pick. He hasn't made big money yet. Last year was the first year that he really made big money, Marcus. So he's trying to secure his future. Now, Marcus, I want to ask you a question that diverts back to an episode we did a while back featuring Thomas Jones. And if you guys haven't checked that out, please do on YouTube. Marcus, Thomas did state, and he did state this, and I remember you and I having this conversation with Thomas. He did state that it's kind of difficult sometimes to watch football where some of the guys that don't have to hold out for their money or don't have to really put out a fight or sit out or demand certain things to be met, or they're not going to play at all. Do you feel like that's the case in this situation with Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott? Do you feel like Dak is getting the short end of the stick? Because if it was anybody else, they would read him up immediately, quickly.
I mean, after that injury, there'd be a whole lot of skeptical people, of course, and just, going back to, does he even deserve that amount of money? Because that's what you were saying, does his skill as a quarterback warrant him to get that kind of contract? That was the question, right?
Yes.
Initially. I feel like in business, it's all about what you negotiate. So if his contract isn't equaling to his talent, obviously his agent has a very high talent level because he's getting him the kind of money that he feel like he deserved because he's selling them that way.
Now, LeVon, let me jump onto you, LeVon. And LeVon, now real talk, this is just being honest. You saw how bad the Dallas Cowboys were this year without him. So isn't it an easier sell, LeVon? You add on to this, and then Marcus, you jump on. Isn't it easier to sell that you guys need me more than I need you?
I mean, how bad really were they when they left? It didn't look good on paper, but record-wise, it was really close. I heard a stat.
That was just because the division sucked.
Well, hey, you got to play the hands you're dealt. I mean, that's not my fault. The division sucked.
But those are two. That's apples. Wait, that's apples and oranges. Did the Dallas Cowboys play good football without Dak Prescott?
No. And I'm saying right now, Andy Dalton is not a better quarterback than Dak. Don't get me wrong. Dak is a better quarterback, right? But like I said, we're not going to compare those guys. The Red Rifle is not Dak, right? But Dak, there's levels, right? Dak, you are not the Red Rifle. Red Rifle's down here, but Dak, you're not. He's the upper. You're not a top 6 quarterback, and you want number 1 quarterback money. You're not a top 6 quarterback. If you want to live, you can do it. One division has better quarterbacks than you.
Marcus Mack, give me your smooth operator agent. I need you to put on your smooth operator agent suit. You are Dak Prescott's agent. I am Jerry Jones. Explain to me why your quarterback needs to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
You know why? Listen, one thing I'm going to tell you about it, Billy, you love to put me on the spot, right? And you know me, I'm big on business, and I would need to know so much in order for me to really
sell me. No. You told me you could sell anything.
You're not going to do that.
You told me you could sell anything. Sell it.
Now, you wonder why you're not going to do that to me, because I'm very serious about negotiating.
That pen. Sell that pen.
Tell me
you can sell that pen? You want me to sell that pen right now? I got a check for you right now. $1 million.
No, 40 million. Remember, Dak is 40 million.
Look, Dak, take 5 years, $33 million, and just vibe.
Nah, I can't do that, man. If I'm his agent, I need to get top dollar.
And what's crazy is that after that injury, you would think he would get less than that. It's like you're playing off of, because in NFL the whole thing is the chance of injury. The chance of injury, right? So after an injury, this man came and still sold him for that much.
Yeah.
Whatever he did, whoever hand he greased, however he figured it out, he sure did, because he just came off of an injury.
Yeah, but he has to get signed. So we're just arguing on where should he get signed, Marcus. That's what we were arguing.
Where should he get signed?
Where should he be an upper echelon type money player, or should he be like kind of like not the middle of the pack but above that? So that's what we're basically discussing.
I think he's a great quarterback.
Yo, listen, Jerry Jones just made a ton of money on all this natural gas that he owns in Texas by raising everybody's electric bill, by shutting everybody's electric off in Texas. Literally. So Jerry Jones he got bread. He got paper, long paper.
Right. But not anybody with long paper don't got paper to throw away.
Yeah, but he's been throwing, his problem is he's throwing the money away to other players on the team, which is also a slap in the face.
Yeah, you're paying Marcus. He's paying everyone, and he hasn't paid Dak.
Everybody else. But that's the problem. You paid everybody else. You haven't paid Dak.
Every offensive lineman on that team is paid. The wide receivers are paid. The tight end is paid. The running back.
Talking about Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Okay. Is the ink dry?
No.
For Dak?
I mean, no, it's not. It's still waiting.
It's not, so he ain't getting paid till the ink dry. If I was Jerry Jones, I'm taking this chance, and I feel like he's taking a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because you said that the injury is recoverable. The injury was definitely. He was gone.
He's gonna be fine with the injury. Now here's the thing about it. You know, the other day Russell Wilson did mention, "Hey, I'm staying in Canada, but I wouldn't mind playing in Dallas."
Yo, and they'll take Sierra.
So you think that would have been a better look?
Well, my point is, like, you know, if Dak's a leverage guy, but then if Russell Wilson, a better quarterback on and off the field, somebody look at that receiving core. Goodness gracious! Even though the offensive line is getting old in Dallas, they're still better than what he has in Seattle, and he's a little bit cheap. Could be a little bit cheaper too. A little bit cheaper. Oh gosh, give me some Russell Wilson all day. Like
that's a fact.
Marcus.
But you know what? If Russell Wilson's his management team, his agency was to step in now, and they said they could take a couple million less, that's a jump. You jump on that all day. I would definitely take Russell Wilson over Dak Prescott any day, and they want less. But if they know that they giving Dak Prescott that amount, they could go in there and bully them.
This would be the most cutthroat move in the history of the NFL to literally say, Dak, you can walk, we're good, and I'm going to go trade for Russell Wilson, and I'm going to pay him every dollar. This will be Al Pacino's devil's advocate, like, starring role for Jerry Jones. He will literally turn into the character in devil's advocate played by Al Pacino. 100%.
I got a question, LeVon. Where would you like to see Dak, though? What team would you like to see him on?
I think, honestly, he can stay in Dallas. I mean, there's no way I'd like to really see that. Because, again, I don't see him as that.
That's great of a quarterback.
In Dallas, I'm not really, it's coming back. It's something to talk about, but it's not like, now Russell went to the Cowboys? Oh, my gosh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
But then people are going to follow Russell over there. Because just for the record, I don't like him in Dallas. I don't think Dallas is a good look for him. Just to be personal.
Guess what? But guess what? You know why Dallas would be a perfect fit? Because guess what? Jerry Jones will let him cook every game.
That is true. He'll let him cook. He'll let him buy the groceries. He'll let him push the shopping cart. He'll let him do everything.
Hey, yo, give me your list. You want? I'll get you the oil you want. I'll get you anything you want. What's your apron to say?
Yo. Real talk, Lamont. He'll put Sierra in charge of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Matter of fact, she would go shopping for the groceries. She would do everything to make sure her man's good, ready to cook.
Oh man. Well,
They'll put Sierra as they'll put Sierra as the head of the defensive line.
just imagine Level Up playing in that big ass stadium, all in the speakers and all that.
Right, like not the defensive line, the offensive line. That would definitely increase productivity for sure.
So congratulations to JJ Watt. Hopefully Dak Prescott ends up getting signed, and we're hoping Russell Wilson in some way, shape, or form ends up with some team, maybe the Dallas Cowboys, the Chicago Bears, or something like that, because he needs to get out of Seattle. He's getting beat up, and all those, edge rushers in the NFC West is just ugly, ugly, ugly. So Marcus, you, myself, and LeVon are now going to discuss what you see right here on my head. We are going to discuss my favorite sport, Major League Baseball. Shout out to my New York Mets. And LeVon, I was having this discussion with Marcus prior to doing the show, and I was trying.
LeVon just had the same face, like, oh God.
I was trying to get Marcus to shush his mouth because he was giving out so much great content, like pre-production. I'm like, shut up, please, because he was sharp. He was on point. He was speaking with like intellect and wisdom, and I'm like, yo, you're just ruining all of this.
I think it made sense though. It made sense, but introduce the
So the question is, does Major League Baseball really care about their fans? And the reason why we ask is because they always talk about how the game is boring, it's too slow, there's no excitement. So what are we gonna do to fucking listen to the fans and create the excitement? What are we gonna do? Stop with the fucking, we need to do this, show me something really, really worth it.
Action. Well, we just, what was a big thing that we talked about on the show for a while was having the microphones on the field, right? But aside from that, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're just trying to make this car run efficiently, right? So the first thing that you go to is commentary, because that's like the biggest thing. Even if you wanted to build awareness for the sport and bring new, fresh blood in, it's commentary, whether it be social media platforms or whatever the case may be. So why is it that these commentators are so dry? We got the same commentators from the 1980s pretty much, but it's new blood.
God, he couldn't have said it any better, LeVon. He literally took everything that I was just going to say and he just ran with it. Put it this way. Could you imagine, LeVon, taking a Bob Emery from social media, who does all the little, voiceovers. Shout out to him. You go check out his page. The Ha Davis, who's on all of social media. Imagine bringing him on, you know what I'm saying? Imagine having maybe like Pat McAfee and his crew do some you need people that's gonna literally, when Fernando Tatis hits a home run and it's a bomb, they need to say some shit like, God, did that land yet? Or something. Like there needs to be
something more exciting.
Yes.
Something more engaging. But the thing is, like I said, the MLB is a very conventional sport, considering what leads the sport is business. It's called a spade. What leads the sport is business. I'm not gonna say it's an older person sport, but it's one of those things that's once you're in, your godfather in. It's one of those things, right? So I'm not saying to remove the commentators of old, the commentators that's there.
Add to it.
What I'm saying is,
add to it.
Right. What I'm saying is, let's bring in somebody that properly represents the sport. You understand? I wouldn't say a Ha Davis. I would love to say that, but I probably, in my marketing mind, I would probably have a better space for somebody like Ha Davis. But definitely that other gentleman you spoke about, I think he'd be perfect. After listening to him, I think he'd be perfect. Like, seriously, if you was to sit me down in front of the what's his name again? MLB?
Rob Manfred?
Yeah, if you sat me down in front of Uncle Rob and we spoke, and I said, listen, I feel like this would be a great look. It won't cost much. You would, of course, pay these people, but it won't cost much, and it would have a great effect on the not just the game, but building awareness and making it more exciting. Like, NBA has shit like All-Star Weekend. They got shit like, you understand what I'm saying? There's a whole buzz and there's a youth and a feel and an energy when it comes to basketball. And then you got football. Even soccer has an energy. Baseball is so black and white, it's not colorful at all. Add some color to it.
Well, guys, I'll be short on this because I hear everything you guys are saying, right? But we all know how baseball is. These guys, like mentioned, once you're in, you're in. They're having opinions on people that are about to die. Hey, 90-year-old. hey, these guys are still voting. These guys are still voting, right? For MVP and all these other awards. Once you're in, you never leave. So guess what? It's not about waiting until these guys, unfortunately, fall off. And also, oh my God, Lethal is bad out. They're trying to invite him slowly, like it's okay, but it's still a problem if somebody tosses it back. They've got all the rules, right? Don't stare at the ball too long, right? If you strike somebody out, you can't that too much, when the batter gets mad. Everybody's emotional. Baseball players are so emotional.
Yeah.
Even when they want to move forward deep down, it's just the baseball in them to be like, hey, why are you bragging about striking me out, right? You can't fist pump, you can't scream. You hit the ball, you gotta run it out, even though you hit the ball at first base. He's gonna put his foot on you still gotta run it out full speed. There's a lot of stupid things that they need to grow out of, but it's just baseball, and that's just the way it is, man.
But the thing is, right? It's bigger than just changing variables of the game or around how it's distributed and how it's viewed, right? Because let's face the facts. If we was to talk about something like NBA, as far as being a defensive game, you don't see that much. It's a very offensive game because the biggest defensive team in the league is the Lakers and has the biggest crybaby in the league. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they don't play the same hard defense they did in the Kenny Smith and the Jordan era. It's not the same. You understand what I'm saying? So it's growing.
Rules are a little bit different, but now it's an offensive game for sure. As
they're not playing hard.
Man, listen. I'm going to be honest with you. LeVon, Marcus, I'm auditioning to be able to be called in some way, shape, or form to be a commentator to bring excitement to Major League Baseball. I want to sit there and I want to tell you about how fucking Clayton Kershaw is minus 320 tonight against the fucking Colorado Rockies because they fucking suck. I want to sit there and tell you that I got the first half on the San Diego Padres who playing the freaking Detroit Tigers because the Detroit Tigers suck. I want to sit there and I want to be able to explain to the fans and give them the excitement that I now have been able to pass down to my child, my son. He's 12 years old. I can tell him, Papi, what does minus 1.5 mean? He goes, they have to win by 2. He knows this stuff, okay? He knows this stuff, and he is 12 years old. They need to share this. No runs in the first. Emilio, what does that mean if it's minus 130?
They're making it fun, Emilio. They don't care about making it fun and interesting for the new age of people.
But let me say this. When I mentioned it earlier, that these guys are kind of easing up to it, but they're like, yeah, but I didn't see anything. If you listen closely, people that don't gamble don't get it, right? But if you hear the old guys go, wow, they scored 3 runs that game, 3 runs to end that inning off, and that run right there was a big deal, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what that means? That means it went over. The over-under was 8. This was 3 runs at the bottom of the ninth to win the game, but now it went from 6 runs to 9 runs. So that means it went over the total. They'll mention it, but they won't mention it. They're scared still. They're scared.
Let me tell you what's so crazy, right? Because we could say that baseball is such a black and white conventional sport, right? But yet still there's so much personality on the field. We're talking about a game where the coach literally comes from out of the dugout like, yo, goddamn weapon. There's so much personality. Bro, if I was just looking at the game and the pitcher hit the batter in the foot with a baseball. You know how hard a baseball hits moving at 90 miles per hour? Like, yo, just that alone in its essence, when you hit a batter with a ball and he wants to choke you to death because he feels like you did it on purpose. Even that in itself has so much personality. And if they just seen that and put that out, but the thing is they see it, but they don't see the value in it. You understand? Because they've conquered distribution. They own every single bit of rights on every corner when it comes to MLB. You understand what I'm saying? Like, their business is covered.
But they doing it the wrong way, in my opinion, because when you got everything covered, when you got all your dots, your I's dotted and your T's crossed, who's gonna tell you, other than your broadcasters like ESPN or Fox, that you need to change something? It's in ESPN and Fox's best interest to jump on board with this gambling wave that's about to happen. It's about to become commercialized. Literally, there was a post that I just posted on the EAC page that they're discussing gambling to be legal in Florida. I'll be happier than a gay guy with a bag of penises if that happens. I'm being honest with you. I'm being dead honest with you. Seriously. Just truthfully.
Yeah. Yo, shout outs to your reference, though.
Yo, just being dead serious. If they legalize gambling in the state of Florida, that is exciting. Everybody's going nuts. Miami will go apeshit. Fort Lauderdale will be crazy. West Palm Beach, you name it. You're going to see the old guys really come out and sit there and say it. They're going to be like, yo, I got $700 on, the New York Yankees to beat the Boston Red Sox today. Like, it's going to happen.
I got to even, no, listen, you know how I feel? I don't even know. Go ahead, because I got this thought in my head.
No, I was gonna make a funny reference. I mean, I thought about this a couple of years ago. I was in LA, gambling, whatever. Out here, when that happens, I need to open up a little spot called Booze and Bets. So we need to make sure that happens. And that'd be pretty.
Dude, I got the excellent hamburger spot for betting and gambling, son. Instead of Hooters, we're gonna call it Buns. We're gonna call it Buns and hire women that literally just have big butts. That's it.
Bro, listen, I'm telling you.
Triple B's. Nothing Bubba brand. Buns, Booze, and Bets.
Bro, listen, I'm telling you. Here's where they're gonna step in. Because like I said, they don't see the value, right? This is where they're gonna step in. When you have somebody come along, which we're in a time of independent branding, right? You don't need a large company behind you to brand yourself because everything is direct to consumer now with the internet, right? Here's when MLB is going to step in. When they start to see someone monetizing off of the game and stepping in a place where they should have. Because they conquered, like I said, they conquered every form of intellectual property, every form of distribution. They've conquered it, where other leagues haven't, but other leagues are sports for the people. Now, baseball is a sport for the people, but it's a sport for the people who's in, not a sport to bring people in. You understand?
Shit, I want to bring people in. I want to bring people in, Marcus. I want to figure it out.
Get Mr. Manfred at the next dinner that we have.
I'm gonna tell you right now. This is what I see. Tell me what you think about this. This is what I see. I see LeVon and myself in the booth commentating any game that you want to pick. It don't matter. You can put us wherever. I'm down. Whenever. What? Like seriously, I'm ready. LeVon will be ready with me. I'll put you in the outfield with the people, Marcus Mack. You could go around the stadium and you could try different. The food truck stand here, the pizza place here. You could.
I just want to facilitate
with the people, and we're gonna have Cameron Dinnan, the UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast, on the field reporting like a sideline reporting, sweating like a pig.
So wait, let me ask you a question. Do they have any kind of commentary for the fans?
Yeah, they do. They actually have on all home games usually. And, well, I'm lying, but before Corona or before COVID, they would have a home reporter, sideline reporter go and during a certain inning of the game, they would go talk to certain fans or tell them about a new restaurant in the stadium to expose the restaurant or to expose the in-stadium experience to the people that are watching at home. And then also the away team would do the same exact thing to show the hospitality of that state to their fans that might be coming from to go visit that state. You understand?
Right.
So if the Yankees were playing the Atlanta Braves, the Yankees commentators, sideline reporters would go and talk to Atlanta fans or Yankee fans that are in Atlanta to be able to show them, look, this is what happens here.
So man, I think the bottom line is this, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
damn, Sean, it's damn near broke. We need freaking wet seal. We need super glue, gorilla glue. We need all this shit for this sport.
I think it could be time for an upgrade. I think it could be time for an upgrade. You see, NFL, they new helmets, new fields.
NFL is fucking streaming on Nickelodeon and Twitch.
You understand what I'm saying? It's making it more. It's making it more feasible, not feasible, or more tangible for the younger generation. You understand? It's making it fun. They even have like the little Nickelodeon splash thing coming out of the. You know, like, I remember when I asked you, I'm like, Emilio, what is that? He's like, no, that's the Nickelodeon. I'm like, yo, that was a good idea. You understand what I'm saying? The day that they realize that making it fun for the kids or making it fun for the next generation is the wave, that's when MLB is going to change drastically. And I have a good feeling that that's only going to happen when somebody puts a roofie in Rob Manfred's drink.
So, LeVon, I wasn't expecting that one. So, LeVon, we're going to discuss, we were talking a little bit about this before the show had started. This is a gambler's dream, Marcus Smack and LeVon, the NCAA tournament. College basketball brackets, 64 teams. People make brackets out of anything. They'll pick the favorite color of the team. It doesn't matter. The office talk around normally, the water coolers, nuts. Everybody makes a bracket whether you follow the sport or not. LeVon, who you think ends up winning it all? Give me your opinion.
Oh, man, you know what? Like, first bucket, there's a couple of rules, and I wish I had wrote these down, but let's start. Number one, okay? If you on a bracket, it's for fun. You're not going to win. That's just put that out there. Number one, you're not going to win. I'm negative Nancy, don't care. Number two, you're not going to win. And number three, don't pick seed 16. Stop. No. Stop. No, I understand this. Stop. Not going to happen. And number four, yes.
It's not going to happen?
So I'm gonna make a pick. I want to go with the old guys. When I say old guys, this is a college team that always has 23, 24-year-olds, right? Traditionally, through the entire squad. Every year they have super seniors on this squad, and that's the Dogs. So I'm gonna go with the Dogs. That's Gonzaga. I'm kind of safe. Like I said, everybody on that team is retired and have 3 children.
Just for the record, Gonzaga is 15-0 while we're shooting this episode. 15-0, the only undefeated team in all of college basketball.
Oh, yeah, and the Nets is smoking H-Town.
Oh,
right.
Please.
I just got to name it.
So we got Gonzaga. I agree with you on Gonzaga. Marcus Smack, just to fill you in, just to let you know, there's a couple of teams that are doing really well that normally don't, and there's a couple of teams that are doing very bad that normally do really good. You got Alabama, which is a team that normally doesn't really do too well. They're doing extremely good. You got a team like Liberty's doing extremely well. Duke, surprisingly, is awful this year. They're really, really, really bad. North Carolina is another one that's kind of on the downhill. Michigan State is another one that's bad. We also got the one that's really good, and shout out to them because he just got an extension. He's 77 or 72 years old. Is Florida State, Leonard Hamilton. Florida State is on top of the ACC. They, in my opinion, are a team that is not to be played with. I think they end up going far in the NCAA tournament, maybe all the way to the Final Four at least.
You just never know, man. Let me ask you a better question. Who do you think it's as far as I guess one? I don't know the exact seeds that are 2, but for the 1 and 2 seeds, who gets knocked off surprisingly pretty early? Maybe not first. Maybe not first by 16 or CBL, but before that 15, whatever. But who gets knocked off? Like there's shaky 1 or shaky 2.
So assuming the 1 and 2 seeds, so ones we're gonna go Gonzaga 1, Baylor is another one. See, that's the thing. It depends. Villanova, maybe. I'm trying to think who else. Who else could it be? They're not gonna allow Liberty or anything like that to be a 1 seed. So it'd probably be Michigan, Gonzaga, Baylor, and then you'll have Florida State or somebody else that's or Villanova or whatever that are probably be rounding up the final top 4. But in my opinion, I think the one, the number 2 seed that ends up getting knocked off, I think is Kansas. Just too inconsistent. They play, tough teams all year. I think if they end up running into somebody that's kind of like in the middle of the pack, surprisingly they end up with the wrong situation, they're going to get knocked off.
That's how it is with those 5-6 seed teams. Those are the scary seeds right there. Those 5-6.
Marcus, you're filling out a bracket this year. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you don't know the teams. I don't give a damn. I don't care if Janiyah picks them. You are filling out a bracket this year.
And that's what's going to happen when you fill out your bracket.
You're not going to win.
Just not.
I mean, y'all know me, man. Everything that I do is based on intuition. I don't know.
Well, that's going to conclude episode 118 of the EAC Show. I'm Emilio A. Colon. That is Marcus Mack. That is LaVon Harvey. I really do appreciate you guys coming on. Yo, make sure you check us out on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Fellas, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.